Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The great elections are done. You've elected MPs, and now it's on them to prove their mettle and to prove it to the electorate. And out of those you and I have elected, interestingly, there are a handful of young 25-year-olds MP-elects this time. They are young, yes, but vocal, fierce, and strong in their beliefs and very clear with their agenda. Truly promising. Tonight, we are going to be meeting 3 such young 25-year-old elected parliamentarians. Let me introduce them to you. I'm being joined by 25-year-old Shambhavi Chaudhary, LJP MP-elect and the youngest NDA candidate. Now an MP-elect from Samastipur. I'm being joined also by Pushpendra of the Samajwadi Party, who's won with the highest margin ever in his constituency, Kaushambi in Uttar Pradesh. From London School of Economics to the Parliament, winning against a candidate who defeated his father, again, 25 years old. And I'm also being joined by Sanjana, a Congress candidate, again 25 years old, who crowd-funded her way to the Parliament. Thank you very much, all three of you, for joining us. Let me go across to Shambhavi Chaudhary first. Congratulations, Shambhavi. Big deal. But how big a deal is this for you? Your first election, but not the first you've been part of, essentially.
First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me. And of course, I'm a third generation politician from my family. So I've got to see politics close-handedly for the last couple of years. And I think it's a blessing that I know the good and the bad both of politics. There are good times and there are bad times. So this is something that I have really learned over the years. But I fought my first elections. I'm only 25. And I also got a thumping victory. It's the second largest margin in the state. So, of course, it's a big boost to my win also. But my biggest takeaway from the entire electoral process would be that I'm a sociology student, and what I got to experience firsthand on the field, there's unconditional love and unconditional expectations from a candidate. And, the one thing that I realized is that people now in politics have lost the value of their voters. They don't have a heart-to-heart connection with their voters. Now, especially, it's all about vote bank, vote share, and how many, people you can accommodate, you can talk to, or you can break and bring in your own ally. But I think I got to experience the love that people have for their leader, and I think it was the most special feeling.
Well, interesting point you make for an interesting time that we are in, but these elections, many would say, have been landmark. Elections the results completely unexpected. Not just the results, whether it be even the campaigning and the way it was done. As a young parliamentarian, what's your lens on this?
See, I think India is the largest democracy, and people's wish and people's mandate is something that we all have to accept. And that's the beauty of the democracy, that you are never really sure of what is going to happen. It all depends on the people. And my father always says that politics is a game of perception. So, what people perceive of you and how people look at you can change your entire destiny. Of course, the results that have come out were not as good as we all expected it to. But I'm from Bihar, and NDA performed pretty well in our state. We are still trying to understand why did we lose the seats that we were winning for the past couple of elections, and we're trying to understand the whole political scenario. But when I was in the field, there was a lot of a lot of expectations. People were really excited and enthusiastic about seeing Narendra Modi ji win a hat trick. So I don't know what went wrong. I think it was the whole perception of the constitution being changed, or I don't know what false narrative caught people.
Okay. Okay, so JDU, LJP all playing a key role in Modi government 3.0, unlike the earlier NDA governments. But from when Prime Minister campaigned for you as NDA's youngest candidate to now being elected as one of the youngest parliamentarians, any chance of a ministerial seat? Are you hearing anything? Do you think about this?
I have no personal aspirations regarding this. My only goal was first to contest honestly and serve my people honestly. Cabinet ministry, I don't think is important if you really have the whole idea of serving the people honestly, dedicatedly. So definitely, I didn't ever think of it, and I'm still not thinking of it. I think I will wholeheartedly accept whatever the party decides.
All right. You know, there were certain issues that were at the heart of elections, including caste census, being raised by the opposition and mooted even by state governments for that matter. JDU, LJP, TDP, all supporting caste census. It may be too early to ask you, but as a young elected representative, how do you look at the divergent views on this?
Honestly, I've never been in a situation like that, so I think we'll have to wait it out and watch because I won't like to comment on anything regarding something that I have no experience of. But I think all the allies right now, uh, from whatever the entire election process and whatever I have seen, they are comfortably, respectable about each other and each other's wishes. And right now, the situation in Bihar is that every ally of BJP is equally important right now for Bihar. And I really hope that we can respect each other and we can respect each other's opinion as well. As far as the caste census is concerned, I earlier also I said that it's important to understand your population. And until and unless I'm a sociology student, I believe in data. And I feel that until and unless you have the right data with you, you cannot design the right policy. So it's important to know the population that you're trying to serve. It's important to know what you want to bring to the table. If I don't have the numbers, if I don't know what my constituency looks like or what the people want from me, I won't be able to serve properly. So that is my personal opinion, but let's see how this goes.
Shambhavi, what an excellent answer. Pakka politician's answer to that, definitely. Well, ready to take on the parliament very clearly. But as you enter the parliament, what's your agenda as a young parliamentarian?
So I come from Samastipur. My constituency is the Samastipur Lok Sabha constituency, and it's centrally located in Bihar. And my own, if you ask me, my priority is to talk about Samastipur as much as I can and to bring whatever, because the people have selected me as their representative, and I'm here to talk about my constituency and bring the best to my constituency. So definitely, my priority will be to focus on Samastipur and what Samastipur needs right now, and I think it needs proper connectivity and proper infrastructure. My focus will also be investment and to talk about big, nice companies investing in our state, so that the youth in Bihar is definitely eyeing employment right now, and we have the state elections next year. So it's important for us to work hard in the coming few months for a clear-cut majority in Vidhan Sabha also.
Very important aspect that you've raised, but before we just end this interview, there's also another thing that I have to ask you. Patna University saw violence recently, and one of the young killed there was campaigning for you. What would you want to say to this?
See, Harsh was a very close aide. I've called him. He was like my younger brother. When I was in Samastipur, he campaigned with me for 45 days. He was literally there. And, the Vidhan Sabha that he was looking after, we got a lead of 41,000 from there. So he really worked hard for me. And the day I emerged victorious and I got to know that I've led Kusheshwar Khan by 41,000, he was the first person that came on my mind. Definitely, what happened in Patna University is shocking. It's heartbreaking, and it's a wake up call for all of us who are representatives of the state. That if this can happen inside a college campus, it's a shame for everybody. And all the people involved in the crime have been arrested. They've been identified and they've been arrested within, I think, 48 hours. And that's something I'm really glad. I would also like to, at this moment, I would also like to thank Bihar Police that they worked really efficiently. But I think there is nothing that we can do for his loss. And I just, in Patna University, it's very strange, in fact, that people still in hostels, students still have hostels identified on the basis of caste. That is something that is still happening, and I would like to change that, because until and unless you alienate yourself from an environment that is completely based on caste, you will not be able to have an unbiased opinion. And I think all these it's important for young people to understand that caste identity is important, but of course violence and discrimination and calling somebody out on the basis of caste is not right. So it's definitely shocking, it's heartbreaking, but I'm sure that I'll be able to bring it.
Shambhavi Chaudhary, thank you very much for joining us, for giving us a very sneak peek into who you are, into how you think, and what your agenda is in the parliament. All the very best to you. All right. And next up, we have Pushpendra Saroj, who's a Kaushambi MP elect. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Pushpendra Saroj. Thank you very much. There's lots attributed to this success. The youngest in the parliament, record win in your constituency, and even a sweet revenge. You've defeated the candidate who defeated your father. But what's the most striking thing for you out of this election and this victory?
First of all, thank you for having me, Sneha. Of course, there are a lot of records that we've set here. Two majorly being the record margin victory in our constituency ever. And the people have given me the mandate, the youngest member of parliament to set foot in the history of India. So yes, I think for me, special would be me being the youngest member to ever set foot in the parliament in the history of India. But the revenge part, I would say the revenge is always sweet.
Okay. No one expected opposition to do so well in Uttar Pradesh, for Samajwadi Party to do so well in Uttar Pradesh. And in this, you've got a record win in your constituency.
Well, you're right that this was not the biggest of campaigns. What I can say for my constituency, and I was heavily involved campaigning here, I didn't shift my focus anywhere apart from my constituency. We stuck with our issues, we stuck with our campaign motto, which was to fight for the people. We had a fight in my constituency, Kaushambi, where the people were saying, "Maan Samman ki ladai." This is what they said. So that was a very core issue here. So from the beginning to the very end, we were with them, and they were the one who were leading the way. I was just following. So this was a very different election, apart from all elections in my perspective as well.
Well, from Musalman to Mangal Sutra to caste census, you've heard a lot in these elections. How do you look at the results, one for you, for your party, for the opposition, for the ruling? How do you look at these results in the light of all of this?
What I can say is, me being a very young member of parliament, I've heard speeches of Mr. Vajpayee as well. I've heard speeches of Manmohan Singh ji as well. We've never seen politics this way. We were very young when those people, those respected members gave their speeches. When we got involved in politics, this is when BJP came into power. So we've never seen politics of such hate or such, putting someone down or bringing Muslim or Mangal Sutra into their speeches. This is not what the youth want. This is not what I personally want. There should be dialogue. There should be love. There should be issues in our speeches. In our speeches, we should resonate with the people, talk about their problems, talk about what we've done and what we want to do. This is how politics should be, and not of divide, not of hate. And what I can say is that we need a new politics that is emerging. As you can see, I would like to thank my national president, Mr. Akhilesh Yadav ji, as well. He had given a lot of tickets to young candidates, and most of them emerged victorious. So he wants a new vision. Even to me, when I was contesting, he told me, go contest well, fight well. We need a new vision in the parliament, and more upon, we need good dialogue in the parliament, some productive dialogue, so that people can listen, people of your constituency can listen. And that's what we've been doing, and that's what his vision for the party is. That's what his vision for India is. And I think so people have abided by his vision, and they voted for Samajwadi Party as well.
Okay, Pushpendra Saroj, what would you say would be your high point, your low point in what is being seen as a landmark election in India?
Of course, this was my very first election. It is a whole new shift for a young candidate like me, who's never fought an election, to be actively involved. I was involved with my father's election as well in the past, but when it is your personal election, it is a different ballgame. So what I can say is the people who supported me, I never thought that so many people would have supported me, because there is a lot of caste factor here in Uttar Pradesh. The people look upon caste and they give tickets based on caste. But even my father, once he told me that he never got such support of all the castes, give it upper caste, lower caste, that I got. So I took everybody's blessing, everybody gave me their blessings. And the high point would be that on my nomination day, when a candidate files his nomination, when he comes back, the people have gone, because it takes time inside. It takes an hour or so. So I was there for 2 hours. And when I came back, thousands of people were still on the streets in the heat waiting for me, and everybody. And we walked together to the party office. That's when I gave my speech. So that was the highest point. And I delivered my speech. I told them that never have I seen the people waiting for their candidate once he's done his nomination. But you were there, you stood by me. I thank all of you. And the low point would be that I would have learned is next time I want a victory margin to be much higher. This is something that I want next time.
All right, all the best to you for that. And that's a very political answer already. But from London School of Economics to the Parliament, what would you say your agenda would be?
The first thing that I want to be remembered for is someone who's put up their voices, the people's voices in the parliament very firmly. Because we want people to be heard, not just we want some productive dialogue in the parliament so that we can work with the government, not against the government and against the policies. I don't want politics to be always against the government's policies. We should work with them, they should work with us, and we should be involved in building a new nation, having some productive dialogue like it used to be earlier. And there should be friendship, there should be love in the parliament. And we should all work together, because at the end of the day, we are there representing India, representing the people of our parliament. And we have one goal in mind, to build India into a great nation. So we should work together. Yes, we are counterparts in the parliament. Yes, we have different ideologies, but we have a common goal. So we should work towards that common goal.
Right. Thank you very much for sparing your time and speaking to us. All the very best to you, Mr. Pushpendra Saroj.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you so much.
All right. And moving on next to the Bharatpur MP-elect, Sanjana Jadhav. Thank you very much, Sanjana ji. बहुत बहुत बधाई. बहुत बड़ी जीत. आपका क्या कहना है?
जनता जनार्दन ने मुझे बहुत ही अच्छे से प्यार दिया है.
आप जब अपनी विक्ट्री को देखती हैं, आप एक महिला हैं, आप एक दलित हैं, आप पार्लियामेंट में जा रही हैं, आप जब अपनी विक्ट्री को देख रही हैं, आपको लोगों ने चुना है, इतने प्यार से चुना है, आप इसे कैसे देख रही हैं?
मैं इस इलेक्शन में जनता की जीत देखती हूँ, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपनी बेटी समझ के सबसे ज्यादा आशीर्वाद दिया है मुझे, और परिवार का सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट रहा है, हस्बैंड का सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट रहा है, क्योंकि उन्हीं की मेहनत और हम सबकी ताकत से आज मैं इस आपके सामने इस मंच से अच्छे से उनका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ।
हमने देखा आप कैसे खुशी से नाच रही थी। आपकी सेलिब्रेशंस के वीडियो हम दिखा भी रहे हैं आपने अपने हस्बैंड के बारे में बात किया, वो एक पुलिस कांस्टेबल है। आप हमें बताइए थोड़ा सा अपने पॉलिटिकल करियर के बारे में।
मैं पहले अभी भी जिला पार्षद हूँ, अब जो सांसद बन चुकी हूँ, नहीं तो मैंने पहले जिला पार्षद का चुनाव लड़ा है।
अच्छा, संजना जादव जी, हमें बताया गया कि आपके पास पैसे नहीं थे, पार्टी के पास पैसे नहीं थे कि इस इलेक्शन को लड़े। लोगों ने आपके लिए पैसा इकट्ठा किया, क्राउड फंडिंग किया।
देखो, जनता जनार्दन ने किया था और अपनी बेटी को आशीर्वाद दिया था, और सारे जो देखा जाए तो जनता ने ही चुनाव लड़ा है। आदरणीय हमारे राहुल गांधी जी हैं, और उनका सबसे ज्यादा हमारे प्रति समर्थन रहा है, और जो आला कमान है उन्होंने एक बेटी समझ के और एक छोटी सी कार्यकर्ताओं को उस जगह पर रखा है, तो मैं पार्टी को और आला कमान को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ।
कुछ बता पाएंगी आप हमें संजना जी, कैसे आप लोगों ने पैसे इकट्ठे किए?
नहीं सर, मैम, जनता ने सहयोग किया है, अपने आप से खुद ही नहीं, उन्होंने संसाधन लगाए, खुद ने आगे थे आगे उन्होंने व्यवस्था की थी, हमने कोई पैसे इकट्ठे नहीं किए।
जी, संजना जादव जी, आपका पार्लियामेंट में आपका मुद्दा क्या रहेगा?
मैंने जैसा देखा है चुनाव में, हमारे क्या है, भरतपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ईआरसीपी की योजना, पानी की बहुत ज्यादा किल्लत है यहाँ पे, तो सबसे बड़ा मेरा मुद्दा यही रहेगा। और जैसे शिक्षा है, चिकित्सा है, बेरोजगारी है, और कोई उद्योग या मतलब संसाधन ऐसे है ही नहीं यहाँ पे जो जनता कोई उनके लिए रोजगार मिल सके, तो मैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा यहाँ रोजगार शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में ज्यादा से ज्यादा डेवलप करवाऊंगी, और अपने जो भरतपुर की एक नई दिशा दूंगी।
संजना जी, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत मुबारक, शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। जस्ट वांट टू थैंक ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस, Shambhavi Chaudhary, Pushpendra Saroj, as well as Sanjana Jadhav. Thank you very much. We wish you all the very best. Well, it's time for a very short break. On the other side, we'll bring you all the big developments of the day in the late night edition.